Hello. One of the features of the Snare agent for Windows is the ability to access files as well as other events within the Windows system. Uh, the file access actually creates certain events, so we take advantage of that in our logs that we can show you within Snare agent. So in this video, we'll take a look here with the 5.2 version, 5.2.0, which is the latest version of the Snare agent for Windows. And we'll take a look at the single objective in this case of looking at a file structure of d colon file test. I haven't included a specific file name, so it'll find other things in there as well. I'll show you real quick the um, objective itself. So we just used access a file or directory, pointed it to the directory structure, and then just looked for success, failures, information, warning, and error, just to make sure we caught everything we might want to see. Um, Another thing that has to be done actually before you can use the file access monitoring is that you need to ensure that the allow snare to automatically set file audit configuration has been checked ahead of time and that the agent has been restarted to activate that. So in this case, we've got everything in place, including our objective. So let's go ahead and take a look at the events. So as you can see here, there were 3 events that got caught immediately. This was actually just due to the Snare agent itself. I had uninstalled and reinstalled the agent just to clear out the log entries here so that this would be a little easier to see from within the agent and wouldn't be crowded by other objectives getting hit with the agent here and reported. So you can see in each of these that it's our Snare core process that was trying to access the object. In this case, it's our file test directory and our file itself, mydocument.txt. So let's go ahead and see what kind of events we can get by doing something else with it. Let's go ahead and go into the directory here. And some of this may take a second or two for the display to update. So we'll give this a second or two, see if we get any thing popping up here. And it did refresh. We didn't get any hits, so we may not have done enough to cause anything to happen. So let's go ahead and take a look at the properties of that file. So here we've opened up the file properties. We'll go ahead and click OK there. And as you can see, now we have a whole lot more events that just came through. As you can see, quite a few. We started off with the 3 toward the bottom that were just from, actually, I'm sorry, those 3 have gone off the screen. So we've gotten over 20 events just from looking at the file properties for that file. So as you can see, this can be a little bit to parse through, but if you have something like Snare Server or a SIM that's looking at the specific file events and parsing this based upon like what types of applications it is that's looking at the thing, like in this case, we've got the just Windows Explorer that happens to have accessed it, and we can see things like that my account is dkenny is the one that accessed that file. So let's try another thing here just to test something. Let's open this up with Notepad. So as you can see, here's our file. We'll go ahead and minimize that and we'll take a look to see what happened here. So as you can see, there's been a couple new additions here. We now see that Notepad accessed this object. So we now have a couple of different entries here. This 4663, a couple of those, as well as a 4656 here that all related to Notepad accessing that file. So this can be helpful if you wanted to craft a particular objective within Snare Server or within your SIM, some parsing, and wanted to see if someone was opening a file for editing with a particular application, and also just to see who was accessing a file. So you might want to create an objective along that line as well, just to see who was accessing it or see if a particular individual was accessing it. So this has just been a small demonstration of use of the file access monitoring. As you can see, it just shows up in the event logs here as it is just a regular objective within the Snare agent, so it would be alongside of any of the other regular objectives that you'd have. So it's very easy to to see that there. I will be producing another video here regarding file integrity monitoring, which is a little bit different. And in that video, I'll explain some of the other differences in place there. Hopefully this video was informative, and we'll see you in the next video.